with the voices in your head. They said that love has shut the door on you, and you'd be better off instead. Girl, don't you listen? Your time is gonna come. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. Yeah. So when you gonna let somebody in? It's a classic situation where you don't know how to feel, so you go it alone. You turn off the phone when the struggle gets too real. Yeah. Girl, you better listen. It's time to make a change. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. So when you gonna let somebody in? Yeah, let 'em in. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. So when you gonna let somebody in? Let 'em in. You had another rough conversation with the voices in your head. They said that love has shut the door on you, and you'd be better off instead. Girl, don't you listen? Your time is gonna come. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. Yeah. So when you gonna let somebody in? It's a classic situation where you don't know how to feel, so you go it alone. You turn off the phone when the struggle gets too real. Yeah. Girl, you better listen. It's time to make a change. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win.
We're giving the community what the stylists don't want to do anymore. Stylists don't want to shampoo. We're even partnering with stylists. They're saying, hey, I don't have the time to shampoo, so won't you go over to the shampoo bar? We're doing steam treatments, taking braids down, locks. So you come in, we're gonna shampoo, condition, put pomade, hair growth, stimulating growth, and we're gonna actually manipulate those beards. If y'all have bundles and units, bring those in. We will bring them back to life. You drop off, we call you, you pick up. Just like a dry cleaner. We have 2 complimentary drinks. One is called the Tide. The next drink is called the Old Fashioned. And we're not going to tell you what's in any of these drinks. They are exclusive to the shampoo bar. I'm not telling you, okay? So go to our website. ShampooBarNLR.com. That's it.
All right, good evening. Happy Wednesday evening to you, broadcasting from the B-Level Entertainment Studios. I'm your host, B-Level. Tonight, we on Wednesday night, we do On the Level with B-Level, where we have extraordinary conversation with extraordinary people. Tonight, I have an extraordinary guest that's doing this thing that we're going to have some conversation with. But before we talk to him, I do need to let you know that we do this thing every Wednesday night at 7:30. For the month of March, we do have our March calendar, who we're going to be talking to. We talk to someone every Wednesday night, as I said, at 7:30. Extraordinary people that are doing their thing to our people in the marketplace. Today, we are talking to Andre Braswell, the CEO, the owner of the Heat magazine, the online publication that's sweeping our state. We're talking to him today. And then I should have corrected this. On next Wednesday, I will be talking to the prosecutor-elect, Mr. Bobby Forrest Jr. He was elected to our prosecutor office on last night. I have not updated that flyer, but I will be talking to him on next Wednesday, March the 11th. And then the following Wednesday, I will be talking to Tracy Johnson, the owner of Club Trois and Taboo, on the following Sunday. And then the last Sunday of the month, I will be talking to Rashawn Wilburn, the owner of Top Choice Auto. So I am dedicated to talking to the people in our community who are making a difference. And speaking of the people in the community that's making a difference, let me bring the guests up tonight. What it do, Dre?
Man, what's going on with you? What's going on with your B-Level?
Hey, listen, Dre, man, I need to say this, bro. I have been watching your movement for a long time. You and I go back, like way back, like 20, 30 years, bro.
Thanks.
And I have been watching you do your thing. And when I set out to have conversations from Sunday to Wednesday, Wednesdays was made to talk to people who are doing extraordinary things for themselves and for our community. I could not have this conversation on Wednesday and not bring your publication and all you have done for our community, particularly for that Jefferson County, Pine Bluff area. We're going to get into all that you do. We're going to get into what it took to get where you are. We're going to just have some real good conversation among two people who have known each other for a long time. I need to say that I respect what you're doing, bro, and I'm a fan. We don't get to talk as much as we should, but every time I call you, you pick up the phone and you, hey, bro, what you need, what I need. So I'm forever appreciative and grateful for what you have done for me and my career, and also what you're doing down there in the South.
Man, appreciate you. You know what, B-Level? You do an awesome job too as well. So, you know, we definitely can't forget about you. So we got to put you in that equation now. You definitely do good.
Well, I'm going to do an opening statement as I always do every week, and then we're going to get into some conversation, okay? All right, you guys, here's my opening statement. All right, today we're sitting down with the man who built one of the most talked about and most followed online publications in South Arkansas. When you talk about what's happening in Pine Bluff, Jefferson County, whether it's politics, community issues, controversial, or celebration, his platform is usually at the center of the conversation. He's the CEO and creator of the Heat magazine, a digital publication with over 455,000 followers on Facebook alone. And he has changed how people in this region consume news and information. Some people call it bold. Some people call it necessary. Some people call it controversial. But one thing nobody can say is they can't call it irrelevant. Today, I'm talking to Andre Braswell about how he built this platform from the ground up, how he gained such a loyal followers, and how he decides what makes the page and the responsibility that comes with holding the community's attention. Again, I want to welcome to the On the Level with B-Level podcast, my friend, Mr. Andre Braswell.
Appreciate you.
Now, Dre, I know you. I know you very well, but I want our viewers and listeners, before we get into the conversation, I want you guys to please share the live, okay? Please share the live. It costs you nothing. We ask you for no money on this podcast. The only thing we have to do is share our information, hit that share button. And when you do that, put that you've shared in the comment and I will shout you out. Now, I know that we've got Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're everywhere. So just please put shared. Some of our followings are not on this publication right here. But if you are following, if you're viewing us on Facebook and YouTube, if you hit a comment, it will come up here and I will shout you out. All right. So, Dre, the first question that I always ask anybody that come on the platform is, I gave you the introduction of what you do and what you've built, but in a nutshell, who is Andre Braswell for the people? Who is he?
Man, let me tell you, a very extraordinary guy, a person that's humble, a person that's has compassion, a person that's a listener. That's who he is.
Okay. Where are you from? Are you from Pine Bluff? Where are you from, Dre?
So originally, I am from Pine Bluff.
Okay.
I did go to Atlanta, stayed out there for some time in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Just enjoying life, trying to figure out, which move the Heat magazine was going to go in.
Okay.
Then, let me wind it back. So I went out to Atlanta when I was like a lot younger. And then I did like Freaknik down in Atlanta. So I would always go to Freaknik.
Okay.
And I would go to Freaknik. And then I'm like, man, I'm loving this place. I'm going to have to move out here. Like this is my spot right here for real. So like every place I ever went to, Atlanta was always the love that I loved to be at, was Atlanta. So I filmed so much footage at that Freaknik that to the point to where I ended up selling a lot of that footage. I said about 95% of that footage. End up selling 95% of that footage to Hulu. So if you go to Hulu and you type in the Freaknik documentary, The Untold Story, you'll see my name on the credits, and 95% of that footage is my footage.
Came from you.
Right. And I'm the most seen person on that footage. I'm on there like 17 times.
So you moved to Atlanta. What brings you back to Arkansas? What made you say, hey man, I'm gonna go back to home?
Well, one, my father passed away in 2016, going into 2017, December.
Okay.
The 16th.
Okay. Yeah.
And so my mom was still here. Then I came back, I was still coming back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But then I really came back, I say about 21, maybe 20.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed they didn't have no news here, that everybody left. I mean,
right.
Pine Bluff Commercial was bought out by the Arkansas Democrat.
Okay.
So they didn't really have a news here.
Right.
And I wanted to give them something that was more, not with controversy to it. Something that's going to be more where the people could enjoy it, where the people can enjoy themselves. People can have a platform where, hey, if you want to wish somebody a happy birthday, you can get in contact, send that to me. I'm going to get that. I'm going to post that. It's going to be. But it all started off as something small that I never realized that it actually jumped so big.
Right. So you talked about your parents, talking to your mother and your father, talked about them. You said your father passed in 2026. Talk about your parents.
2016.
2016. Talk about your parents and your upbringing. How you was raised. Do you have any sisters? Do you have any siblings? Any brothers? Talk about that.
Oh yeah. Man, raised in a great home. Raised in a great home, great parents. I do have two brothers. I have one sister. Very amazing people. My sister stays in Philadelphia. She's
Okay.
uh where she work at? She works at she gonna beat me up. She used to work at Temple. She used to work at Temple University, and
Yeah.
then she ended up moving to another college where she worked at. And she's like an assistant director to the director. And my brother, he works at the paper mill. And I have another brother. He stays in Milwaukee.
Okay. Do you have are you married? Do you have any children?
No, no, no,
Okay.
not married.
No married, no kids.
Not married. I know I have kids,
Okay.
but
How
yeah,
many
not married.
children you got?
Three.
Shout them out. Shout your people out, Dre. Shout them out, your kids.
Sydney, Alexis, and Alexis.
Okay. So okay. Got two of them the same name.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I always ask people this, and it's crazy. People always ask, why do you ask this question? But to me, this question tells a lot about a person. I always ask people, Dre, if I was to get your phone and plug your phone up to Apple, get in your Apple Music, plug it up to your car. What kind of music is Dre ride when you ride and you vibe? And what kind of music? What's your top three artists you bumping right now that you listening to?
Man, you know what? I listen to everything. It don't make me no difference. As long as it's
Okay.
something that's gonna have, yeah, I listen to everything.
Okay.
There's no limit to the sky. I'm gonna listen to it all.
So you
Maybe not
listen
no
to all
reggae or
genres
nothing
and
like that,
everything,
but
huh?
we're gonna listen to some. Let me break that down because let me rewind that. I'm gonna listen to some rap. We're gonna listen
Okay.
to R&B, a
Okay.
little country. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's gonna be me. That's me. And I say my top is gonna be Tupac in rap.
Okay. Okay.
Automatic after the
Okay.
R&B. I love some Tony Braxton.
All
So
right.
you know, going back old school with that. Tony
I'm
Braxton is my
bumping with that.
favorite.
I'm bumping that. Okay.
Yeah. So
What Dre, do you come from a journalist background? Did you work at a radio? You know, most times when people start stuff like this, they come from a journalist background. Is that did you work at a radio station? So tell me your love for journalism.
well, a lot of it came from B level is, and I know you probably remember this. You know, back in the days when a lot of events was going on. So I
Mhm.
was working with a lot of major artists back then.
Okay.
And no, you probably do you remember Tomorrow?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
you remember I was
yes,
working with Tomorrow for a long
yes,
time.
yes,
And
yes.
so they had the navigator truck with a picture on the side and all that.
Right.
And so I worked with Tamora for an extremely long time. Then, you know, I was working with a lot of major artists too as well. When Pac used to come to Fine Bluff all the time, I used to run with Pac with Big Country, my homeboy
Okay.
Big Country, that used
Okay.
to he the one that bought Pac down. He introduced everybody to Pac
Right.
before Pac was Pac.
Right.
And so that was really made me be like, what man, I want to do this. And so I just really focused and stayed on it and stayed on it. And you know, I didn't think it'd pay off like this, but
Yeah.
yeah, I stayed on it.
So what made you decide to name your online Heat magazine? Why did you name it the Heat magazine?
So I was working with this guy. This guy had he had a magazine.
Okay.
This was 2008. And he had this magazine. We were working together. I was helping him out. I was posting for him. I was uh, getting all these major interviews for him.
Right.
Like the first K Michelle interview I did, I got the K Michelle
Okay.
interview for him.
Okay.
And then he turns around, and I guess he had a lot of family issues going on. And so me and him kind of like had some exchange of words. And I
Okay.
told him, "Hey, look, I don't get paid for this. You
Right.
think I'm finna hear you talk right? That don't happen
Right.
like that."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so then next thing I know, I end up saying, "You know what, dude? You can keep what you got going on. You know more words than what I said in this, but I say, you know,
You
when
put
you
some extra
what you got
sauce on.
going on over there, right, right, right."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, you can keep what you got going, and you know what? I'll holler at you. And so I
Okay.
sat back, and I swear it took me maybe 5 minutes, and I came up with that name. I
The
said, you know
Heat.
what, magazine. And
Okay.
because at first it was front page
Okay.
magazine. I always kept running with front page, front page, front page. And then I
Right.
said, you know what? No, the Heat magazine. And I ran with it. Next thing you know, uh, like I say, it just I didn't think it'd blow up to where it's at.
When did
That's
you start it? What year did you start the Heat magazine?
2009.
2009. So you've been running for 17 years now. Was
Right.
it ever a physical publication or has it always been online?
It was always online. I felt
Okay.
like that era of paperback
Hmm.
was going to play out, and it wasn't going to last long. And that's why
Right.
I tell a lot of people this, is that you and even when it comes to radio, you know, a lot of times people don't think that, well, back then they didn't think social media was going to go anywhere. It's kind of like how people say, hey, you know what? Rap music ain't gonna last long.
Hmm.
Rap music gonna be around 10 more years. It ain't gonna be no
Right.
more rap music. You know why
Right.
people used to say that back then? And that's the way
Absolutely.
social media was.
Right.
When the internet came out, folks, people like, oh man, ain't no internet, ain't gonna last long. That's just stuff
Right.
just here, just whatever, whatever.
Right.
Then next thing you know, I was like, man, let me start this page up. Let me
Hmm.
do this. I had a MySpace
Hmm.
page. I think my MySpace page back then was probably at, I don't know, probably 100,000 back
Right.
then.
Right.
But that didn't last long.
Right.
And then I was like, well, you know what? Let me start this up. Let me do this. And I always was the first one that say, hey, when this new thing coming, I'm gonna try it. And I'm gonna try that. And I stay consistent on posting. But then,
Mhm.
back then, you were posting dumb stuff because you didn't know what you were really posting. So you're
Right.
like, hey, they like this. Okay, I'm gonna post
Right.
this. Oh, they like this. And then I would just post dumb stuff. Then I just figured out, and then I say, hey, you know what? They love it more of this. Oh, they love it more of this. And then I put all of it together. And I just sat down to myself and I said, you know what? This is what they like. This is what
Right.
they don't like. And
Okay.
so when I focus more on what people like, people kept on coming. People kept on coming. People kept on coming. And that's what made me to have, one of the hottest magazines that's out.
Hey, Dre, did people get on it right away, or was it challenging to get people on initially? Sometimes there's a time where you're in your era and you winning with everything you do, but oftentimes it's after a business go through some troubling times. So did they gravitate to the Heat magazine initially? Did it take a little time for you to get it popping? Tell me about that.
I, s- I say yes,
Mhm.
because no matter what I posted, people always come to it.
Right.
But a lot of times you got to also to remember, and I say this to anybody, I don't care who it is that's coming up and they want to do the same thing I'm doing, is that hey, look, you got to be a genuine person. You got
Okay.
to be a very respectful person when it
Mhm.
comes down to dealing with different stories that you're dealing with. Every story is different,
Right.
so you can tell that story, but every story is different. Every story is not going to be the same. So you got
Yeah.
to approach every story different. And a lot of people don't approach every story different. And that's probably why they fail.
Right. For those who are just tuning in, I'm talking to Andre Braswell, the owner and CEO of the Heat magazine. Got a couple of people, Sharon Atkins, that has shared it. Thank you for sharing it. Pope Olivia have shared it. If you're just tuning in, please do me a favor. Share, share, share. We're talking to him about his journey of how he started and how he made this publication, the huge publication that it is today. Let me ask you this, Dre. Why do you feel like they gravitated to it so fast? Did you initially, oftentimes controversial stories sell, controversial stories get views, controversial stories get followers? Did you start off doing controversial um, publications? How did you get so much traction so fast?
You know what, B level? I really never really did controversial stories like that because I never was I never liked that.
Okay.
So I mean, not saying I have never posted that before,
I
but
got you. I got you.
I don't really too much care for it.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this: I have been everywhere. I don't know if I'm jumping the
Mhm.
gun on these
No, you go
questions,
ahead. Go ahead. I'm
but I
following
have
you.
been okay. I have been everywhere, even to with all the protests with the George Floyd thing that was going on.
Okay.
I went to all of the protests. I went to um Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
protest to go down there and cover that and stay down there for like a week.
Okay.
Uh, and cover that. And when I tell you some of the things that just to look at the people fighting, and it was like trying to, they trying to get justice, and it looked like a war zone down there from where, it was literally like a war zone for real.
Mm.
And looking at that, and then going to, I got a call. I remember this guy called was like, man, we need the Heat magazine in Harrison, Arkansas. And I said, you know what? I said, okay, let me come down there. So I went down there. But when I went there, I thought I was going there to cover a protest, but not realize that I'm going there to go to what's this town called? It's one way in, one way out. What is it called? I can't
It's
think
in
of it.
Harris,
But
Arkansas, you
it's
said?
it's it's 20 miles, 20 minutes outside of Harrison.
Hmm.
Uh, the home of Tom Robb. I just say that.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, the home of Tom Robb. So we was going down there,
Mm-hmm.
down the street, one way in, and it was
Mm-hmm.
people standing on top of these like these they had these hilly houses, and so people were standing on top of the hill. They had signs talking about turn back, don't come, turn around, it ain't worth it, you gonna die tonight, you finna, and all of that. So it was like a convoy of probably about 100 people went down there, and we go there, and they talking about they was going down there to barbecue. So
Mm-hmm.
they finna have peace down there, yeah, in Tom Rob Sound.
Mm-hmm.
So which Tom Rob was, I think he was like the Grand Wizard of the KKK or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go there. I'm there filming, and I remember this guy drives up and he throws his watermelon out the car and he said, y'all ears
Mm-hmm.
eat this. And
What?
so I was like, wow. So, and it was so amazing just to see the life, the way people live in certain places,
Mm-hmm.
especially there. And it was like the population like 130 some people.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go down, and I remember Boone County Sheriff Department was down there, and they had the road blocked off. And they try to walk down there to go through that way, and the Boone County Sheriff Department said, "Nope, you won't come this way. You have to turn around." And so he told all of them, "You have to turn around, and go back the other way." So they turned around. So they went back the other way, and when they went back the other way, I kept walking around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So next thing I walked down, I went back down where Boone County Sheriff Department was, and this guy walks up to me and he says, "You the Heat magazine?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You want to come back here?" And I said, "Yeah." So he said, "Come on, follow me." So I had these two guys in front of me with long guns, these other two guys behind me with long guns, and they took me back there, where Tom Rob's place was. I was the
Right.
only one that would go back there, was able to go back there. They wouldn't
Right.
even let TV stations go back there. And they had major TV stations that was there. They couldn't
Right.
even go back there, but they only allowed me to go back there. And he said, "You know why we let you come back?" And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you're non-biased and you get both sides of the story. You don't just tell one side." And he said, "We respect you for that." And I was like, "Wow." And so,
So
and
they
that's when
already
I
have did their
realized that,
homework on you. They already knew.
right, exactly. And that's what made me realize, I'm saying to myself, like, people really do watch you. People
Mm-hmm.
really do be watching you.
Speaking of that, when you say people are watching you, are you the only person that decides what you cover? Do you have people that work? I mean, does the buck stop with you? Do you decide 100% of what goes on your publication?
Buck stop right here in Pine Bluff,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Well, Jefferson
Um,
County, Arkansas, period. Buck don't stop here. Now, I do have other people that work for me that's
mhm.
in other places. I probably have a
Right.
total of maybe 60, maybe 55
Okay.
that's in different other places.
Right.
But they post when they want to post. They don't post all the time. They don't post like I post.
Yeah.
But they post, you know, every so often they'll post on there. But that's not my job to, hey, look, you didn't post today. You didn't do this. I don't try to get on people about that. Hey, post when you want to post.
When you decide what you're covering, do you cover what you think people want, or do you cover what you think people need?
I say both. I try to give both. I try to make sure that I'm balanced on what I do.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, if it's that small business that's struggling, I'm gonna make sure that small business is gonna have what they need. If it's Pablo Police Department and they're not getting the perfect rap that they're supposed to be getting. And, people downing them, they downing them, saying this, or the sheriff department or Arkansas State Police.
Mm-hmm.
My job is to make sure that I show, hey, look, what you're looking at is not all the time what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm-hmm.
more good than bad. And
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of times, a lot of people are more, you know, they're more, how can I put it? They're more just
Open
in
to.
their head, right? And they stuck to think that, hey, look, this person's just bad. And that's
Right.
not
Right.
always the truth.
Right. So let's talk about, you said that you're from Pine Bluff. Let's talk about, would it be fair, Dre, to say that half of the things, what percentage of the things that you cover lie in Jefferson County, Pine Bluff?
I cover small businesses,
Mm-hmm.
uh, food.
And
What else?
so I guess the question that I'm asking you is, your footprint, you're everywhere. But a lot of
Exactly.
times when I'm following you, I see a lot of the stories that you cover is in Jefferson County and Pine Bluff, where you're
Oh
from.
yes. Oh yes. Oh
So
yes.
would you
Oh
say that
yes.
half of the stories that you do come from Jefferson County? Would you say that would be a fair percentage of
Oh yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I would say 95%. Yes.
and you talked about the one of the reasons why is you wanted a respected publication in Pine Bluff is the reason why your footprint is down in the Pine Bluff, Jefferson County area, right?
Right. I want right. I want that because Pine Bluff always get this light as being this
Bad
terrible
stigma,
place.
a bad
Right.
place.
It's
Yeah.
bad place. It's crime bluff. It's all that. They get all of that. And what you gotta understand is this: Pine Bluff is a wonderful place.
And that was
Wonderful
that.
place.
Listen, that's what I was going to ask you. And I don't know per capita the crime, but the things that I hear about Pine Bluff, not knowing it, not researching it because I have not, it always seems to be all bad. But you're saying that's not a true reflection of Pine Bluff,
No,
Arkansas.
no, not at all.
Pine Bluff,
Not at
Arkansas
all.
is not all bad.
No, not at all. Because what you gotta understand is this: everybody has their fair share of troubles. It's Little Rock, it's
Hmm.
Fordyce.
Hmm.
Everybody has their fair share of trouble. North Little Rock, they had their fair
Hmm.
share of trouble. It
Hmm.
happens. People cannot stop crime. Like I explained I don't care who you are or where you go, you cannot stop crime. Crime is going to happen.
Yeah. Do you feel like that would it be fair to say that the population, the per capita versus the crime is high? So what they normally people look at is the amount of the population versus the crime that's happening, right? So you might say, hey, crime is happening everywhere. But statistically, nationally, when people look at how many people live in Pine Bluff versus the crime that's in Pine Bluff, you would not say that it's higher per capita, per person that lives there.
No, no,
Okay.
no. Let me tell you,
Okay.
I'm like this, Brian. It's our own kind that's doing it. You get what I'm coming from?
Right,
So
right,
it's our own
right,
kind that
right.
steady committing these crimes and they're doing this stuff. And don't get me wrong, I feel feel bad for the parents that got to deal with some of the kids
Right.
that are committing some of these crimes. But sometimes some of the parents do got to step up, and they also got to put their kids in check. You get what I'm coming
Hmm.
from? And if you know
Absolutely.
you got a
Absolutely.
bad kid, and he walking around the house with a AK-47, or he walking around the house with a Glock with a switch on it, I mean, I know you love him to death, but at the end of the day, you got to do something too, because if you go out there and kill somebody, then what? You get what I'm coming from? So it's our own
Absolutely.
kind that's really out there doing it. Now, we can get along with everybody,
Hmm.
but we got to come together as a community. And that's not just Pine Bluff. That's
Right.
Little Rock, that's North Little
Absolutely.
Rock, and that's
Absolutely.
any city that you go to. Because
Hmm.
everybody gonna have their fair share of crime. I don't care where you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to switch over and talk about politics in Pine Bluff. You seem to have your hand on every politician in Jefferson County. How do you build those relationships, Dre? How are you able to cover everything in Pine? Dre, I be seeing you. You be everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
how do you build those relationships to be able to cover every politician in Pine Bluff?
Well, I mean, trust. I mean, my thing is trust. My thing is I don't try to go in. Um, I don't judge anyone. I don't care who you are. Uh, if you talk to me off the record, it's
Mm-hmm.
still between me and you off the record. It's not for me to
Mm-hmm.
go to B level, say B level. Guess what you all see it. So and so, so
Right.
and so. So it's and people know they can trust me. I'm just gonna be
Mm-hmm.
honest with them,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna be transparent.
Right. Right. Do you ever feel pressured to cover anything? Politics is very tricky, right? If
Oh,
you let one
definitely.
person that's running on and you don't let the other one, then one mad at you. So how do you decide?
I, I trust me. I feel you on that because trust me, I have been through that too. So I've
I
been
mean, I
definitely been
mean,
through
Dre,
that.
you know what I'm
So
talking about. You let one
I
candidate
know, I
on,
know exactly.
then
I,
now, oh man, you hate it. So how do you decide? How do you balance that, Dre?
I balance it like this. If I feel like a person feel that way, you talk to me like a man, and we'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about that. But if you can't talk to me about it like a man, and you got to go a whole nother route with something, then I separate myself. I separate myself from all foolishness,
Mm-hmm.
all foolishness,
Mm-hmm.
because I try to do no drama. Period. Bad as I do, be want to say some certain shit. I try my best not to say it.
Right, right. Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
being honest.
It's crazy. And one of the reasons why I feel like they get mad at you is because one, first of all, your publication influence, like for whatever reason, when they see Dre on it, they know it's real. You're not biased. I mean, half of the time I see you report stuff, you don't get in your opinion. You let whoever you're talking to, you ask the right questions. So I feel like they get in their feelings about it because one, your publication is respected, right? They know there's some news stations that call you for stuff because you have your
Exactly.
boots on the ground. So you have a respected publication, but obviously, have you ever lost friends behind it because you didn't cover
No,
somebody? Okay.
no, no.
Okay.
Never. I mean, if I had to lose a friend, that means you were my friend anyway. So I try my best not to even let social media try to get between personal friendships and all of that because at the end of the day, I mean, it's social media.
Yeah.
It is social media. Now I had one person get mad at me because I blocked them,
Hmm.
but like me, I don't do drama. So if I don't do no drama, I'm not gonna let you bring drama to my life. Because guess what? I sleep good every day.
Right.
I
Right.
sleep good every day, and I'm not gonna let nobody stress me out when it comes to social media shit. Period.
Yeah. Dre, how do you decide what's newsworthy and versus what's too personal? Like, how do you where do you draw the line on if you should cover something or something is too messy or too what do you use to draw
Well,
that line?
if you notice, um, if it's a homicide, I'm gonna obviously cover that.
Okay.
But being respectful for the family, I never cover bodies, a person laying on the ground. I'm
Mm-hmm.
never gonna cover that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would narrate and tell you what I see and tell you
Mm-hmm.
what the situation is going on. Because I
Mm-hmm.
respect for families, I want them to know, hey, look, you got a news media outlet that do care for you or do care for your
Mm-hmm.
family. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
your loved one. And I'm not going to sit back here and blast a loved one over social media just for some views. You get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I mean, I'm not never would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I don't cover, suicides. If a person kill themselves, I'm not going to cover no suicides. I
Okay.
don't do that. If I know it's a suicide, I'm not going to cover it. Now, if I don't
Okay.
know it, then that's on another ball game.
Right.
But I don't cover suicide because that's something that's a personal issue within that person, and that's something that family don't have to deal with on a different level when it comes to
Right.
suicide. But yeah, you separate things. You definitely got to separate it.
Dre, in your 17 years of doing just the Heat magazine, right? We know that you've been involved in other publications and stuff with the Heat magazines. Have you ever posted something and later regretted it? Said, damn, I probably shouldn't have did that, or man, I probably shouldn't have covered that. In 17
I,
years, have you?
I,
I mean,
I,
we've
I,
all done some shit that we
oh yeah,
probably like, damn, I probably should.
I would say yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would say yes.
Yeah. How do you handle that? How do you handle the retraction? Do you go back and say, man, I screwed up? Do you just let it go away? Do you retrack it? How do you handle that?
I man, shoot, I retract it. I mean,
Right,
if I'm
right,
wrong, I'm wrong. You know,
right.
that's just it what it is. If I'm wrong, look, I don't mind saying I'm wrong if I'm wrong,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm just gonna be honest up front.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because we imperfect, right? I mean, we gonna make some mistakes as well, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, ain't
Yeah,
nobody perfect.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, all of the mudslinging and drama that's going on with Pine Buff politics right now, right? How do you
Hmm.
stay clean of it all, right? It is a lot. Listen, man, for Pine Bluff to be as small as it has been on my radar. I'm not even from Pine Bluff, but I follow it. But it's so much mudslinging, and don't get me wrong, there's mudslinging in every race, right?
Right.
But it seems to be more going on in Pine Bluff. Why do you think it is, Dre? Why is it so difficult down in Pine Bluff right now with the
Yeah,
politicians?
but you know what? I don't. I can't answer that question. I don't know. But it's not that serious. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I
Hmm.
can't answer that question when it comes to that. I just wish, I just wish everybody would get along, move the city forward, and focus on the people.
Hmm.
And that's what I want them to focus on, because at
Hmm.
the end of the day, you know, they got a job to do. You got a
Hmm.
job to do,
Hmm.
and if you don't do the job right, they gonna get you out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Dre, you those 17 years, obviously people respect you down there. I've seen you with, covering the stories with the mayor. I've seen you covering stories with the county judge down there. I've seen you covering that little thing that they had, which I really enjoy, where all of the candidates talk. I seen you covering stories with the sheriffs. Like, I mean, you are it down in Pine Bluff. You know what I'm saying? Do you believe that social media publications have the same responsibility as traditional news outlets?
I mean, yes,
Mhm.
but do people use it? No.
Mm.
Like,
Why do you think that is?
uh, because I mean, sometimes you got to look back and you got to think:
Mhm.
is this right or is this wrong? Morally, you shouldn't do this,
Mhm.
but are
Mhm.
you going to do it?
Mhm.
Because you probably saying to yourself, "Hey, look, man, I can do it because I can do it. Ain't no law against it." It's kind of like, again, going back on filming somebody that's got shot.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
is it against the law to film that person? No, it ain't. But morally, should you do that? You should.
Mhm.
So, I separate all of that. I mean, but with me being in the game so long, like I said, I don't bump my head as well as people
Yeah.
doing the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So, and then I had to learn to say, that's not the direction to go. This is the direction to go.
Right.
And you learn, definitely learn from your mistakes. You definitely learn from it.
Dre, you're 17 years. What story have you done that had the most impact? Whether it was views, what story can you remember that you did that had the most impact, that had a big impact on your publication? Can you remember the maybe the top two stories that you have done that you felt like catapulted you to be where you are today?
Well, I'm not gonna say it brought me to where I'm at today, but I can give you top
Mhm.
two though.
Okay.
Uh, I can give you two of them, and it would be the Janika Perry story. The
Mhm.
young lady that worked at Walmart in North Little Rock,
Okay.
and I know I talked with her sister and her parents, and she had passed away. She worked at Walmart in a deli, and she was trying to take off work because she wasn't feeling good. But from what I was told from the parents, that she asked the manager could she get off. The manager told her no. So
Okay.
she went to the bathroom. She and came out the bathroom, went back to working. Then she went back to the bathroom like around 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and she never came out the bathroom. So they didn't find her until like 11 o'clock that night, and she was in there dead in one of the stalls. And so that's one big story I can say that I think that story alone did like over 4 million, 5 million views just
Mm,
on that one
mm.
alone. Uh, and then what's the other young lady from England, the one that got killed in Conway? Uh,
Okay.
yeah, her, and she's
Right.
been another big story, which I still got her story pinned to the top, and
Right.
because that was a sad situation too, and I
Right.
went down there and I covered that. I covered that funeral as well, and and took pictures and and post some of those pictures online, so the family can have those pictures. I didn't charge for that.
Right.
That's something that I did on my own. So the
Right.
parents can have, because I have a lot of people that be like, hey, look, can you come shoot this funeral for us? My loved one died.
Right.
You covered it when this so and so on. Can you come over and shoot these pictures for us? So and so on. And I came over there, shot those pictures, and I posted them for them, and I didn't charge more for it.
Right, right. How do you handle the weight of having influence in a smaller community like Pine Bluff, Dre? Do you feel like because people trust you, you got to get the story right? You have to report on, real 100% factual information. Is there a bigger responsibility of you that when you cover something, you got to get it right because so many people depend on you? You are their news source. You are bigger than their channel sevens. You are bigger than their channels 11. So how much pressure do you feel, when somebody is looking to you to get your information that you got to report the story right?
Well, I'm like this. If I don't know it, I ain't gonna post it. That's as simple as that. So if
Yeah.
I don't know it, it won't
Yeah.
go up. If I know it, it's going up.
Right.
And I would give myself 92% on I'm gonna be accurate on
Right.
everything that I
Right.
post.
Right.
But if I don't know it, I'm not posting it nowhere.
Yeah. Do you do all your research yourself and knowing if some of these stories is true before you
Oh
do
yeah,
it? Do
oh,
you
oh
you
definitely that.
yeah, you
I know within a second, within 30 seconds if it's real.
right. Right.
You Within
I'm
30 seconds, I
assuming
can tell you if it's real or not.
yeah, I'm assuming, and maybe this is true, being in the game so long that you probably have smaller publication that feeds you information as well, stories that give you leads. Or do you do all that stuff yourself?
I have people that will, if they see something, they'll say, "Hey, inbox me. Hey, did you know this happened over here?"
Right.
And then I
Right.
have to look into that real quick and see if it did happen. And then I just be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that did happen. Let me post this real quick." And so a lot of it is not just me. A lot of it is team players too.
Right.
So
Right.
I can't forget about those followers because those followers are 100% involved when it comes to the Heat magazine.
Absolutely, absolutely. Two more questions. I promise you, we be get in and get out. For those you guys who are just tuning in, I'm talking to Andre Braswell. I know you guys have heard of the Heat magazine, one of the biggest online publications in our state, not in just Pine Bluff, but in our state. I'm talking to the guy who started it all 17 years ago, and we're getting into how and why he started it. Okay, please share the live. I've got two more questions, and then we're not going to be long. What advice, Dre, do you give someone who wants to start a digital media platform or online publication? What advice would you give that person who's starting where you started 17 years ago?
I'm just gonna say two things on that: stay consistent and be honest.
Another question that I want to pivot off of that. If young Andre Braswell had a conversation with the older today's Andre Braswell, what would you do different? What would you see now that you saw, or what have you seen now that you didn't see 17 years ago that you wouldn't do? Like if you could give
No,
yourself some advice, what would you say?
I,
Well, I probably wouldn't have moved back to Pine Bluff. Or I probably wouldn't have did this. What advice could you give yourself, the young
no,
Andre
nothing.
Braswell?
To be honest with you, nothing. And I'm gonna tell you why. Whatever was playing for me, it was set in stone for me, and that's the reason why I'm at where I'm at today. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
I can't, I can't even say that. What I would tell tell a younger me
Right.
how to correct something because this was set in stone. It wasn't planned for me to blow up in 2015. It wasn't planned for me to blow up in 2016. It wasn't planned for it was planned for it to gradually grow and grow and
Mm-hmm.
grow. and it was a teaching experience, and it taught me. So
Absolutely.
I would say nothing.
Somebody asked me that question last week, Dre, and I said the same thing. Everything that I did it was meant to go through. It was meant to put a notch under my belt. It was meant for me to learn from. So I would change anything. I solely respect that answer. Mrs. Summers tuning on. Jeanette Summers saying, hello, Brian and Andre. Very proud of both of you. Lawanda
That's
Logan
my
is
little sister
saying,
right
we
there.
love the Heat magazine.
Yeah, that's my little sister,
Um,
Lawanda.
Yeah. Jeanette,
And
LaWanda,
Jeanette,
please share the
Jeanette
live.
Rowley, what's
Please.
up?
Yeah, please share the live. Okay, last question. And well, actually, two more questions. One more question, then I'll ask you if you have a question for me. The last question is, if the Heat magazine disappears tomorrow, what impact do you think that it would leave? If you decided tomorrow, which I know you're not, to stop doing it, what impact do you think the Heat magazine would leave?
It will leave. It will leave. It will leave to let. It will leave. It will leave just. I don't know. It will leave a big impact.
Your legacy one.
Yeah,
It will know
definitely
that,
that. But
hey,
it will leave. It will leave more than that. It will leave. It
yeah,
will leave. Yeah. Excuse me. It will truly leave a legacy,
yeah,
but it will
yeah.
leave more than that. It's so much involved in this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so
Mm-hmm.
much involved. There's more than I can even talk about. There's so much involved.
And I would say it probably would leave a lot of experiences. So many people who watched you cover things, went through things with you, grew with you,
Right.
got a lot of information from you. You okay?
No, you good. Go eat. I'm
Okay.
gonna get some break.
Okay. Okay. So I would assume that it would leave a lot of things because a lot of people went through some things with you, grew with you, found out information. So that publication is the way of life to some people. You got some people who are older. I used to wonder why old people used to wait to 10 o'clock to watch the evening news. That's how some people are serious about their news. So I could imagine you've got several people down there in Pine Bluff that you are part of their day, right? They get up on social media, they grab them phones and they go to your social media first to see what you got, see what you covered. So people have grew up with you. People have went through things with you. So that's also a legacy that I know that you would leave to those people down there in Jefferson County and people, all across the state, not just Jefferson County, but all across the state who have read and grew up reading the Heat magazine. Um,
Right.
my last question that I always ask, I'll give you an opportunity. Like I end my interview by always giving the interviewee an opportunity to ask me any questions. Like I've been asking you questions for an hour now, right? But is there any question that you want to ask me?
You know what? Where do you see your podcast in the next 3 years?
Oh man. So research says that it takes 6 years, Dre. Now, this is just research, right? This is just what the marketplace says. It says that it takes a podcast 6 years in order to get national status, right? Sometimes
Right.
some podcasts get it earlier, some podcasts get it late. But if I'm trending the way research says that I'm trending, I've been at this 2 years for this podcast. I've had, another podcast for like 4 or 5 years. So I've got another 4 years of doing what I know to be right. We have two responsibilities for this podcast: to inform and entertain. So the reason why we do what we do is for those two things, either to inform somebody of something or to entertain. So I'm hoping, Dre, I have a great crew on Sunday that God has really touched me to welcome them on this podcast for a reason. So if research said I got to just keep doing, we've had some great success. If I and I probably need to do this, but if I was to count up my views for the 2 years, I guarantee you I would probably hit 10, 20 million views. I mean, we're on 4 different platforms. It would be hard for me. It would probably take forever for me to count them up. But people just like the Heat magazine trust us, right? They trust that we're going to be honest. They trust that we're going to be fair. They trust that every Sunday night and every Wednesday night they can turn on just like News 7 at 7 o'clock. It was important
Right.
for me to ask you to come on today a little early at 7:15. And one of the things that I said to you is I want to make sure that I'm on time. So I haven't been around for 17 years, but all I have to do, Dre, is to keep doing what I'm doing, right? And if I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm living in my purpose, and I truly believe that this is my purpose. And the reason why I know this is my purpose because this comes easy to me, right? Like I could it almost like, and I say this, I can do this shit with my eyes closed because I'm living in my purpose. I'm doing what God had me to do. It's not hard for me. And so that's how I know it's my purpose. When I don't struggle to do it, I'm living in my purpose. And so all I need to do is just keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm hoping and I'm praying that in that 6 year, possibly before that, we will get a national sponsor. We can take this, put it on a national platform. But I have to win in my area, right? I got to do this grassroots things for the people that I know and love and that touch. And I gotta gain a good following here. And that's what we're doing. We're just gaining a good following from the people who know me. So when I pick up the phone and say, hey, Dre, man, I want you to come on, people like you will respect me enough to come on and give me an hour worth of your time. I know, bro, you could be anywhere else tonight. And I'm forever grateful that I have earned the reputation to be able to pick up the phone and call you and say, yo, Dre.
Man, don't do that. Don't do
No,
that. You
no,
know,
no, because that's
no,
real. Like,
well,
no, I'm
no, but
saying
me
like
and you go,
this. I'm saying
me and
like
you
this,
go,
Ray.
me and you be
Sometimes,
level, be
yeah,
level, be
but hear
level.
me out. Sometimes people don't answer the phone for when you call. So I'm grateful to have a relationship with you where I can do that with you and others. You
Okay,
understand
now
what I'm
let me say,
saying?
now let me say this. Now you know me and you go way back.
I do. I
We
do.
friends to the end. We
I
friends to the
do.
end, partner. For real. So I'm not one of them dudes where you can look. I'm saying I'm gonna do something and then I don't do it.
No, you
So I'm gonna be there. You call me next week and say, Trey, hey look, can we do so and so so and so? You know I'm gonna be there because me and you go
and
way
you know
back for
what,
real.
Drake?
You
That's the
definitely a homeboy of
thing.
mine for real.
I that's the thing. I do know it, and that's what I'm telling you. I'm grateful that I have built the relationship with you and others. That people will answer the phone, and I know as it relates to this publication when you call and people see Andre Braswell name on the phone, they pick up. And it's because you have carried yourself, you have helped people, you've done stuff for the community where people respect you enough. And so I'm so forever grateful that I have carried myself in a way that people like you and others will come to the calling when I ask for something. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
I got my head down, Dre. I'm working hard as hell to entertain and inform. I'll tell you, when we started this, we have cleaned our platform up. We started, and sometimes the controversial stuff gets you some views, but now I'm really trying to. I still want to talk about the messy shit because the messy shit sometimes get my views, but I also want to talk about some stuff that matters, right? We
Mhm.
on Sundays we might get a little messy, but on Wednesday I want to educate my people, right? I want to use my
Right. I
platform
feel you.
to talk to some politicians, or I want to use my platforms to talk to you about starting an online publication, or I want to use my platform to talk to a judge or the prosecuting attorneys. So now that we got these people listening, we want to do something really great for our community and educate them down. So I just, man, 2 or 3 years, I hope that we can get to where we can get a national sponsor and get on. Now, I don't know if that's God's plan for this podcast, but I'm just going where God lead me to go. That's my answer, bro. I'm going wherever He leads me to go because I do know, Dre, that all ministry is not done in the pulpit. So it might not be God's plan for me to be on a national platform. That's what I'm shooting for. I'm gonna go wherever God lead
Let
me,
me tell
Dre.
you, let me tell you something. If you don't get to the national platform, you get a little bit at a time. You still gonna make it.
Yeah.
You still gonna make it.
Yep.
I mean, you're already shining. So look, your podcast is everywhere. People talk about it. I mean, I watch you every chance I can get. I watch you.
Right. Right.
So I mean, you definitely doing something good. So I mean, stay focused and stay grinding. You gonna do it.
I appreciate it, man. Look at old DJ Bruce Bruce. He said, keep doing both, entertaining and inform. Appreciate you, Bruce Bruce. Angela Moore Rachel is saying, great job, well done, Andre. Keep doing what you're doing. Fort Pine Bluff. Helen Jones is giving the emoji of the thumbs up emotion. Listen, Dre, man, I tell these people, I know you already right now on Facebook got over 455,000 followers. Shout out your publication where people can go follow you. Talk about your social media handles before we get out of here.
You know what? I ain't gonna even do it. I'm just gonna ask a question. I'm gonna let them tell it. All right. Tell me about the Heat magazine in Pine Bluff.
The Heat magazine is really a staple for Pine Bluff, isn't it? You're out there amplifying everything happening in the community, whether it's breaking news, local heroes, or just shining a light on businesses and events. You've built a platform that's keeping people connected and informed, and that's no small feat. Keep on doing what you do. Pine Bluff clearly benefits from that spotlight.
There you go.
Well, listen, man. Hey, you ain't gotta say it. Listen, I'm gonna end it right there, bro. I was taught in MCing that you drop the mic when it's hot, you leave when it's hot. We gonna end right there, Dre. Hey, listen, bro. I'm gonna say this, brother. I love you. I'm following you. I'm cheering for you. I'm rooting for you. And brother, I'm just a phone call away. You need me. You know I'm gonna pick up. Much love, Dre. I appreciate you for giving me an hour worth of your time, man. And we're gonna get up and we're gonna do some big things, brother.
Well, let me know. You know, anything you need from me, let me know, bro. For real. I got you.
All right. Much love. Have a good evening, Dre.
Already.
All right. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that on next Wednesday, 7:30, I will be talking to our prosecutor-elect, Bobby Forrest Jr. He was going to be on the platform next Wednesday, 7:30. One of the first interviews that he is committed to. Forever grateful for him for committing to this before he won it. He said that he was coming back. So he's going to be on next Wednesday, 7:30. Same bat time, same bat channel. Don't forget, on Sundays, I cannot get out of here without telling you about Sunday. I need to put this photo up. Listen, man, we have one of the baddest podcast crew in the world. I promise you that there is no podcast that's doing it like we doing. I promise you, I believe that. I have a bunch of dope co-hosts like Little Rock Princess, Tristan Hobbs, Anthony P, Candy Webb, and then my news girl, Jayla Jefferson with Jayla with the T. These people are doing it big time with me every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. So if you have not seen us, please go to our YouTube page, UTB Podcast, hit the notification button, hit the subscription button so that you're notified when we have new content. And just like everywhere, I will see you Sunday, same bat time, same bat channel. Y'all good night and have a great Wednesday evening.
Had another rough conversation.